Hello guys, today I'm in Szeged in Hungary. It's very cold here, bit of a gloomy day, but the subject of today's video is Bangladesh safe? It really depends on many things if you consider Bangladesh a safe country to travel. This video is going to be from the perspective obviously of a traveler, which is myself. I'm just going to run through kind of my experience there and my feelings towards the safety as a Westerner, a foreigner. I know if you're from Bangladesh then you already know a lot of the things and obviously a lot more than what I'm about to explain. Chances are you'll be flying into Dhaka. If you're not flying into Dhaka, then you'll be flying into Chittagong. Dhaka is the biggest city in Bangladesh with a population of about 18 million. Apparently that's rising. 400,000 people each year. So the density of the population is insane. It's the most densely populated city in the world. If you've traveled in places like India before, then you'll kind of have a good idea of what to expect, but if you haven't, nothing can really prepare you for what you will go through when you enter a country like Bangladesh or India or Nepal or the surrounding areas. It's quite overwhelming, but you soon get used to it and start to enjoy it. You'll either love it or you hate it, basically how it goes. I did feel safe in Bangladesh generally, yes. I believe that Bangladesh is a safe country to travel for tourists. In saying that, there have been terrorist attacks in the past. I believe in Dhaka, was it last year or the year before, there was a terrorist attack and they were specifically aiming for foreigners. I can't speak on that because obviously I wasn't there. I'm going to speak on my time. I felt safe. Everybody is so welcoming and friendly. You know, the locals will like do everything to try and make your stay as comfortable as it can be. I didn't get the feeling that people were trying to rip me off too much. I mean, obviously it happens in all countries, but I didn't get an overwhelming sense of Bangladeshi people trying to rip me off or take a lot of my money or anything. Most of the people that I dealt with are very fair. For example, if I was to go into a fast food place and they've got all the food lined up, there's no prices. They could have literally said anything, but the prices that they were giving me were the locals' prices, and there's a lot to be said for that because in a lot of countries I've been to that wouldn't be the case. I can guarantee it. So in that respect, the people will treat you very well. Really, the way I look at it, a lot of it actually comes down to your own state of mind. I mean, if you don't feel comfortable in big crowds of people and you feel a bit claustrophobic quite easily, then maybe you won't feel safe in Bangladesh. If you're a bit more open and you don't mind people everywhere all the time, obviously I'm just speaking in terms of the cities. I did go down to Cox's Bazar on the beach and that was a lot more chilled out. A lot more space, a lot more breathing room, but I am talking about Dhaka mostly in this video because that's the place that I spent most of my time when I was in Bangladesh. And so you are constantly surrounded by people in Dhaka no matter where you go. If you're a bit more open and you don't mind saying hi and people wanting to come up and shake your hand and things, because Bangladesh is one of the least visited countries in the whole world. Moldova in Europe, Nigeria in Africa, and Bangladesh in Asia. I think those are the three least visited countries in terms of the amount of people. So let's say per capita of the population, which is pretty crazy. So if you do have white skin like me and you're walking through the streets, you will automatically get a lot of attention. But if you feel confident and comfortable to be, you know, have eyes on you all the time like you're a celebrity, then you know that's fine. And it's a really great way to interact with the locals because everybody's keen for a chat, and you'll get a feel for the place really fast, and I did, and I got a very positive feel for the place. Very nice people. If you think it's going to be similar to India, it is kind of, but it's different in so many ways. I would say that the people in Bangladesh are a lot different to the people in India. I don't mean anything negative or positive by that. They're just different kinds of people, I get the feeling, in general. As far as like domestic travel, I traveled on buses and trains. You can get super luxurious trains in Bangladesh, you'd be amazed. If you want to go have a look at the train ride that I took, go back on my videos. I'll leave a link down below to all my Bangladesh videos, and there you can see the train travel, which was super luxurious, and then you can see some of the bus travel, which wasn't that luxurious. And then you can see some of the other bus travel, which was again extremely luxurious. It's quite developed country. It's quite interesting. It's a lot more developed than Nepal. There's a lot more infrastructure than Nepal. Obviously, if you know my videos, and you know Nepal's one of my favorite countries, so I don't mean anything negative towards Nepal in that respect, but just basically stating the facts. I guess Bangladesh is getting a lot of coverage in the media at the moment because of the Rohingya refugee crisis, and there are huge refugee camps down south. I also visited them in my videos, you might have already seen, and that might deter some of you from going, but I really don't think it should do, because if you're scared of refugees, which I'm not quite sure why you would be in this particular situation, but if that is the case, then the refugees aren't actually allowed to leave the certain area near Cox's Bazar in the south. So it's not like you go into Bangladesh and there's just refugees running wild. I'll reinforce the fact though that I don't have any issues if that was the case, if that makes any sense. I felt safe in Bangladesh all the time. I didn't feel in danger once, apart from maybe being in some of those crazy buses because those drivers are nuts. But apart from that, I didn't feel in threat, violent threat or anything from people in general. As I always say on this YouTube channel, probably the most you hear about Bangladesh is negative things in the media, but it's really not the case. It's really a lot more relatable of a country than you'd expect. Hotels, we stayed in a hotel down the south and we had no issues with feeling safe in that particular hotel. I'm going to end the video there. My brain is actually freezing right now, so I think I covered the important facts. I am going back to Bangladesh next year, so if that's enough to prove to you my real feeling of the country, that I want to go back, that should be enough for you to realize that I really have no issue with it. But like I say, it comes back to you as a person. What kind of traveling do you want to do? Do you want to do extreme off the beaten path travel, at times overwhelming travel, where you have to be open to your surroundings and just being open to being basically absorbed by that rich culture? It's really up to you. And obviously I didn't go everywhere in Bangladesh, and I know there are places that are super beautiful, like I've been told 100 times, and I did see some very beautiful places myself. The country has a lot more to offer, and I can imagine that because I've seen photos and I've been told by my Bangladeshi viewers. Thank you guys so much for listening to me in this freezing cold weather of Eastern Europe. If you're from Bangladesh, I will see you next year. I'm coming back, I'm already making my plans.
Kim Kardashian is dead.
Until then, I hope you follow my adventures so you can keep up to date of where I am. And just before I end the video, guys, I'm doing a Q&A soon, like I mentioned in a past video. There's still time to put your questions in. If you have any like really creative questions, I'd be stoked on them, because I've got a lot of questions asking like how I make money and certain things like that, which are quite generic questions, but obviously they're questions that people want to hear, so I'm happy to answer them. But if you have something kind of like funny or creative, I'd be stoked to get those questions. So if you go onto my Instagram, which is linked below, leave your questions under this photo here on my Instagram. I'd be stoked to see what kind of funny, weird questions you guys could come up with, because I'd like it to be kind of entertaining as well for you guys and for me. I'm gonna end the video there, guys. I'm gonna end it by saying Bangladesh is safe, but do your own research. Take a little bit of what I say, take a little bit of what you see from documentaries online, or make your own kind of image of it, you know. Don't solely take my advice, don't solely take someone else's advice. Get a feel for the whole situation. That's always the best way to do it, you know. Come to your own conclusion from your own perspective. Alright guys, that's enough talking. Time to go inside. Thanks for watching. Peace out. I will see you in the next video.